I wanted to talk about Tom Brady's tweet and the suspension for the rest of the year, Stugotz, of Damontae Kazee, because Tom Brady writes, nobody likes seeing players get hurt, but hard hits happen. QBs should not be throwing the ball in areas where they are exposing their own teammates to these types of hits. Coaches need to coach better. Quarterbacks need to read coverages and throw the ball to the right places. And defenders should aim for the right hitting areas. To put the blame on the defensive player all the time is just flat out wrong. Need better quarterback play. It's not okay, quarterbacks, to get your wide receivers hits because of your bad decisions. I believe last night's game, Stugotz, while a bit of a surprise, and it produced a nice Drew Lock moment for us, emotional moment.
Yes.
Last night's game feels to me like where we are on NFL standards right now, and it's why Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady say it's a mediocre product. 2017 is about what I'm expecting from just about every game. That's where I am right now toward the end of the season. Broken parts, backup quarterbacks. I'm not going to get a lot better than 20-17 on average on what I'm expecting. But this particular hit, Stugotz, at any point in my lifetime before recently, has been a wonderful football hit. And
yes.
I am now at the point where they have changed the way that I view football, where anytime I feel, ouch, that seems too violent, I'm now expecting a flag. I'm expecting a flag for what just used to be football. And this was to suspend someone for 3 games.
And the playoffs, Dan, if they make it. I mean.
I understand it. It's where we are with the new rules. Even Tomlin's like, yeah, I get it, but I don't understand how you can play defense well in that sport if you have to start governing that stuff because you're worried about losing several weeks of paycheck for making a decision in a split second that at any other time in the pipeline living football, that's the hit you want to make in that situation because the wide receiver is exposed and you don't want him to have the football.
It's interesting because I know the NFL wants to clean up the sport, and they should clean up the sport the best they can, but their sport is a violent sport by nature. There's a lot of violence in that sport, and there's a lot of world-class athletes, as you pointed out, Dan, moving at speeds and body angles where I don't know what you're supposed to do in that spot if you're a defensive back. I saw the hit. I saw it live. I said to myself, ooh, that doesn't look good. You want to suspend him for a game to make a point? That's fine. But you suspend him for the entire season?
No, but it's not the first time. Like, it's not
Dan, I know.
Body of work. Well, but it matters, Stugotz. It matters if you're a serial offender. The only way to stop the serial offense is to make the new rules happen to him. Like, it's the only way to actually change this, and I'm not sure you can change it anyway.
But I like where Tom Brady is coming from, where he says there's more than one person in this equation. There's the coach, there's the quarterback, and I'm here for that. Like, Tom Brady blasting quarterbacks is a lot of fun, because if they question Tom Brady, he holds up 6 rings. I mean, what are you going to do?
His words in that tweet carries a lot of weight. Also, Tom Brady made a living throwing to Wes Welker in dangerous positions. Wes Welker got lit up plenty of times. Unfortunately, it's a sport with a lot of variables going over there, and sometimes you're not really realizing when you're releasing the ball that place is dangerous, but it's on a football field. Every place is dangerous.
But it seems like Brady is saying, hey, the quarterback's at fault too, which I love.
I understand.
So I would love if if Brady can influence a new rule where the quarterback gets the penalty for putting his wide receiver in a compromising position, that would be awesome.
Brady's unique for several reasons in that he played in an era that predated them adopting rules to protect him, and he excelled in both. So when he, who was there for the sea change and how the game was called, weighs in on this, you should always respect it.
But, Greg, please give me your thoughts on what we were talking about, which is it's really hard to play football and defense in that league. When you're moving at a high rate of speed, it's hard to cover these people, and you've got to hit them and get them down, but not too hard, or you're going to lose the rest of your season and a lot of money.
You stop that because?
Well, that's why I say it's a no-win situation for the NFL. They can't do the right thing here, because if they let it go, and if we have and the flags are killing it. Anytime there's a big play in the NFL, I hold my breath expecting a flag. It's terrible for the game. But if they don't call all these flags, you see a third of the starting quarterbacks in the league out for at least 2 games this season. You see too many concussions are still happening, including at the quarterback position. So they have to literally err on the side of cautions, which is what they're doing. Too many penalties. They're coddling the quarterbacks, but they have no choice but to do that.
It can't actually be changed, correct? It's not. You can penalize it as much as you want, make as many examples and symbols of everybody.
It's still going to happen.
But I'm just saying it cannot be eliminated or lessened, correct?
I think it can be, because you see it sometimes on a sack where, one of the rules is you can't fall on a quarterback with your full weight. You have to go off to the side or something. And time after time, I see big defensive tackles doing exactly that.
That's correct. I'm saying this one, though. I'm not saying you're right. They have been able, and it doesn't keep the quarterbacks any healthier,
right.
But you do see defenders letting go of quarterbacks who continue the play because they're afraid to hit them.
But Dan, you're talking about bang bang plays, right? That's different.
I'm talking about this one. I'm
right.
talking about how Kazee ends up not playing any more games this season because of a decision that was made in a fraction of a second at a high rate of speed. Was it Pittman that he hit?
Yes,
It was just a totally exposed receiver, which is something that cornerbacks have always dreamed of. They dream of that hit, and I don't know, while wanting the game to be safer, I don't know how future generations prevent that hit unless you change the rules even more. That you just simply never allow that hit under any circumstances, or the ability for someone like me to explain it away as how are you supposed to do that in a fraction of a second?
Or make the penalties harsher, I guess. I mean, he's out for the
pretty
season.
harsh.
I know.
Right. But it's harsh because he's a previous offender.
This is a new and unimproved Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.